This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of the faithful is having a fantastic week. We had another fantastic show cooked up for you today. According to reports from NBC Sports Bay Area, there's been a noticeable change in Trey Lance. What is it? We'll break it down here in just a few moments. According to an NFL Network analyst, he compared Trey Lance to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. What exactly did he say? We'll dissect that as well. Kyle Shanahan saying that Drake Jackson could be one of the best edge rushers in the 2022 NFL draft class. And did the 49ers make a Deebo Samuel mistake? We'll break all of that down. But we first start off with Trey Lance. According to NBC Sports Bay Area, reached out to a couple of sources, and they said there is a noticeable change in Trey Lance, and that his throws are looking a lot different with a healthy finger that he injured last year in the preseason game against the Las Vegas Raiders. So here's what NBC Sports Bay Area had to say about that change from Trey Lance. Sources close to the quarterback have shared with NBC Sports Bay Area that now, with a fully recovered index finger, Lance's passes are noticeably more crisp and tighter. Unable to fully use his index finger to finish off throws during the 2021 season, receivers had to adjust when Lance was under center. Jimmy Garoppolo is known for his tight spiral and quick release, which keeps the ball spinning as it is being caught, a source said. Lance's throws, though, have quite a bit more velocity, and the young quarterback throws a slightly more accurate deep ball, especially now that the 22-year-old is fully recovered from the injury. So last year, and at points throughout minicamp and OTAs, we saw this wobble on Trey Lance's throws. But if the finger injury was the reason why Lance was a little bit inaccurate and there was a wobble on the football when he was delivering the ball last year and he was able to recover from that index finger injury, this would explain the wobble and some of the inaccuracies that we saw last year. The injury did happen against the Las Vegas Raiders in that preseason game, and according to Lance, it's something that really affected him all throughout the year. And if you think about it, when you throw a football, a couple of things here. When you finish off like this, but also your index finger is really important when you're flicking that wrist downward and when you're just overall throwing the football with your motion. So if you think about it, when you hold a football and your index finger, you're not able to put that same pressure on the pigskin that you normally would, that would lead to a little bit of a wobble. That would lead to some of your throws being errant. According to Trey Lance, that's exactly what ailed him last year. Still to come on the show, we're only getting started. Trey Lance getting compared to two stars at the quarterback position in the National Football League. And what did Kyle Shanahan have to say about Drake Jackson? Lofty praise for the edge rusher out of USC, San Francisco's second-round pick, and the 49ers' Deebo Samuel mistake. Did they make one? Did they not? That's all still to come. But first, I want to ask you this question because I'm curious to see where you're all at and what phone you're using. My boy Tom Downey, he's great. He uses an Android. I call him a cop. Do you use an Android? Type A in the comment section. Do you use an iPhone? Type I in the comment section. I want to see what mobile device all of you are using. Let me know down below. As for Trey Lance, getting some lofty praise from a former wide receiver who works for the NFL Network now, and compared Lance to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, which is of note that James Jones used to play with Aaron Rodgers. Lofty praise coming the way of Trey Lance. Here's what James Jones had to say, comparing Lance to two of the better quarterbacks that we've seen in recent memory. I believe we're looking at a bona fide superstar like Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. We had a small sample size of Aaron Rodgers, but all you heard out of the locker room and the people around Aaron was, just wait. You just wait and see. Small sample size, but everybody was like, just wait, this kid is going to be special. And that's the same thing that's coming out of the 49ers locker room with Trey Lance. Everybody is saying he has superstar written all over him. There's nothing he can't do. And the same was really said about Patrick Mahomes. Lance can make the plays with his legs, has a really strong arm. Kyle Shanahan is going to put him in really good situations. I think he's going to have a hell of a year. I think he's going to be in that category years down the line. Talking about him like we talked about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. You know what? When I sit back and think about this, a lot of people must watch the San Francisco 49ers Report hosted by yours truly on Chat Sports. Why? Because I've said this for a really long time. Aaron Rodgers didn't play for a couple of years behind Brett Favre. Patrick Mahomes didn't play the entire season behind Alex Smith and only had one start. Trey Lance made 2 starts last year, and in those 2 starts, I thought he got progressively better within each of those games and displayed a couple of really important qualities: athleticism, arm strength, pocket feel, and pocket mobility. You also look at a couple of quarterbacks who have taken massive jumps from year 1 to year 2. Or becoming first-time starters. Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Last year, it was Joe Burrow in his sophomore campaign, leading the Cincinnati Bengals all the way to the Super Bowl, winning the AFC before falling just short to the rival Los Angeles Rams. Trey Lance can make that jump because he puts in the work. He's been in the lab. He has all of the qualities that you want from a starting quarterback in the face of your franchise, where he's displaying leadership qualities. He's well-liked around the locker room. And in terms of his physical skill set, he can keep defenses on edge. The offense is going to be a little bit less predictable with Lance at the quarterback spot as compared to Jimmy Garoppolo because of the athleticism, but also Lance has the necessary arm strength to complete throws all across the field and take the top off of the defense vertically with that elite arm strength. And I think there's going to be a change in the Niners offense, which makes them a little bit more explosive. We know this. Lance needs reps. He's getting them because Jimmy Garoppolo is away from the facility as he rehabilitates that shoulder injury. We also know that Trey Lance is a little bit green as a passer. How can he get better? With more reps. But all of the talent and all of the qualities are there for Lance to make that monumental jump like some of the aforementioned quarterbacks. It's one of my bold predictions for this year that Lance impresses a lot of people in his first year as a starter for San Francisco. If you think Lance becomes a star, then show me that you think that he can become a star by hitting that thumbs up icon and liking the video. A lot of you watching right now, you're overall sports fans, and a lot of you are probably Golden State Warriors fans. Well, they do have a first-round pick and a couple of second-round picks, and we're going to be talking about all of those selections on Thursday when the NBA draft goes live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We eclipsed 300,000 subscribers throughout the NBA Finals as I was doing the watch parties, and on Thursday night, we're hoping to get a couple of million people who tune in for the most watched NBA draft coverage on YouTube as well as Rumble. I hope all of you join us. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV will be going live 2 hours before the draft officially gets started. Is Drake Jackson destined for stardom? Drake the football player getting better reviews than Drake the rapper's new album, which I've been told is garbage. I'm a big fan of Drizzy, grew up with him in that 2010 range. Rap music was at an all-time high. Now rap music is kind of in a doldrum, and Drake's new album, I haven't listened to it yet. I've heard it's a little bit wonky. But for San Francisco, this is good news because Drake the football player is receiving praise while Drake the rapper is not getting that same praise. And he's getting that praise from Kyle Shanahan, which we'll break down here in just a few moments. But with Drake Jackson, he gets drafted in the second round by San Francisco. I didn't think edge rusher was necessarily a need. I just thought that they went BPA, best player available, and they decided to take a position of importance that they really value at that edge rusher spot. So you look at the numbers at USC last year. 6 sacks, 17 hurries in 11 games, 8 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. And you look at those numbers and you're like, you know what? They're not crazy by any means. But the raw number and the raw numbers don't blow you away in terms of what Drake Jackson was able to do last year. But the analytics actually tell a different story. And with analytics, sometimes they tell a full story. Sometimes they don't tell a story at all. But sometimes the blend of that combined with the tape are pretty telling. And for Drake Jackson, I think that's what the 49ers organization saw. They looked at the numbers, they looked at the analytics, they looked at the tape, and they also looked at, okay, hopefully Nick Bosa is going to be on this team for a really long time. We have Drake Jackson on the other side of him to hopefully replace D Ford, and this guy can really cause a lot of havoc coming around the edge. Here are those analytical numbers. Pass rush grade, 88.3. Some of the best figures across all of college football for all edge rushers. Pass rush numbers, 82.5, and then his pass rush win rate. How many times was he able to win? 20%. All of those figures among some of the elite players in all of college football, and that's what Kyle Shanahan saw. He saw an elite player when they dived into the tape. He said this recently: the first time we watched Drake, he was like the 10th defensive lineman that we watched because we watched them based on where they projected him to go, and his tape was better than the 9 that we watched before him. It shows the potential of a guy. Yeah, there's some things as to why we got him at 61, but when you see the things that he's capable of doing, and I'm not trying to put the pressure on him or anything, you see the ability to be one of those top guys, and you have that advantage at 61. Those are the things that change teams. Let me also say, before we get to this question, that Drake Jackson, he's pairing up with arguably the best defensive line coach in the league in Chris Kocurek, playing in a scheme led by D'Amico Ryans that allows defensive linemen to flourish, and Drake Jackson is going to have a role this year to certainly earn a lot of snaps on this defense to prove that he was worthy of that 61st overall pick, and maybe he can prove to other teams that they slept on him in the pre-draft process. How many sacks will Drake Jackson have as a rookie? I'm about to set the number at, I don't know, let's say 5.5. You going over, under? Let me know a numerical figure in the comment section right now. And while you go down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Over the weekend, we were able to surpass 60,000 subscribers. Big reason why we've been able to grow like we have been, all of you, and the fact that we publish videos every single day. YouTube.com/49ers TV will take you to the promised land. Better yet, just hit that red subscribe button down below. Did the Niners make a massive mistake with Deebo Samuel? According to Bleacher Report, they put together an article looking at one big regret for every NFL team for the 2022 season. And the top 5 highest paid wide receivers in the league, it's players like Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown. Where is Deebo Samuel going to be? And the fact that there was all that wide receiver movement and all those guys got paid, can the Niners now afford to pay Deebo Samuel like some of those other top guys? This is what Bleacher Report had to say on the Deebo regret. San Francisco likely wishes it had inked Samuel to an extension at the start of the offseason, as new deals for Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, and Cooper Kupp have reset the receiver market. A.J. Brown is the least expensive of the 4, and he's set to earn $25 million annually on his new deal. That's likely now the floor for Samuel, though there's a bit of a caveat for the Niners. Had the Niners locked him up before free agency, a deal in the $20 million per year range might have been more feasible. Now that Hill is getting $30 million per year and the far less proven Christian Kirk is getting about $18 million annually, San Francisco likely has no chance of keeping Samuel on a team-friendly contract. And the wide receiver value has only increased because of all of those aforementioned deals that have been signed by other teams and players across the NFL, and you look at the impact that Deebo's been able to have on San Francisco. I mean, you can make the argument that he's more impactful because of his threat as a runner and a pass catcher than these guys right here. Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, the top 5 highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. And if you were to pay Deebo Samuel right after the year, before some of these deals took place, or even during some of these deals taking place, could have saved yourself a little bit of money. But now the wide receiver value and the market has exploded. And now you might be forced to pay Deebo at least $25 million, because I guarantee you this, him and his agent, they're going to go to the negotiating table with San Francisco and say, am I better than A.J. Brown? Am I as impactful as a Cooper Kupp? DeAndre Hopkins is getting a little old. Does Davante Adams have the versatile game that I do? I had better numbers in some categories than Tyreek Hill. You want to give me less than $25 million? I'm going to walk. You give me more than that, then I'll re-sign. But the point here being, from Bleacher Report, San Francisco may have cost themselves some dough. So what do you think? Did the Niners make a mistake by not signing Deebo a little bit earlier? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. I'm taking all of your comments in the comment section right now. I'm going to go back to see what all of you have to say.